Hey, EMG Smash Central here with a special announcement. Now this is a paid promo, but I wouldn't put something on my channel unless I thought you would enjoy it. So, what is it exactly? Smash Amino, a social network or community for Smashers that play any game in the series. It's completely Smash specific for those who aren't really interested in the more mainstream social networks, but you also have the option to share things to your Facebook, Twitter, and more. The reason why I really like this app is because it basically does exactly what I tried to do with my YouTube channel, which is bridge the gap between casual and competitive players. There's a news feed featuring some of the more popular posts, live chat rooms for real-time discussion with other Smashers, and you can even follow users who post content you enjoy to create your own personalized Smash Brothers news feed. You can like and comment on posts you're interested in, or share them on your own profile or to any other social networks you might use. All in all, Smash Amino is a great on-the-go information source for any kind of Smasher. So if you want to join me on the Aminoverse, look for it on the App Store or the Google Play Store. From an outsider's point of view, he looks cute and harmless, but to those that know him, Kirby is considered the greatest warrior in his galaxy. Not only does he have a bit of fighter, rock, cutter, and more built into his moveset, his copy ability allows him to take an enemy's special move and use it against them. Although his custom moves don't shake up his playstyle too much, they do create opportunities for some combos and kill setups that weren't possible before. So it's time to break down each of Kirby's custom moves and determine the best set for both casual and competitive play. Default neutral special is Kirby's copy ability that everyone knows and loves. Pressing the A button with an enemy inhaled will spit them out a short distance away, and pressing down on the control stick or the special button again will swallow enemies and copy one of their special moves. Kirby gets to copy the neutral special move for most characters, however with Olimar he gets a combination of the Pikmin pluck and throw moves. In addition to copying moves, you can also inhale enemies and jump to your death, but when the enemy breaks out you can easily make it back to the stage. Most of the cast will even break out underneath Kirby, making it easy to footstool them and guarantee a KO as you jump back to the ledge. Hammer Flip is Kirby's default side special, and it's pretty similar to King Deddede's Jet Hammer. It can be charged for more power, and Kirby can also jump and change directions while charging the move. Its overall lag time is increased when using this move in the air, however jumping causes Kirby to swing his hammer twice, and it can create some mind games. While uncharged Hammer Flip is much weaker than the Brawl version of this move, a fully charged side special can KO at 40% damage on some characters, easily making it Kirby's strongest attack. When fully charged, Kirby also starts taking damage, however if he's already at 100% damage or more, he'll remain untouched. Default up special is Kirby's final cutter move. He jumps up, launches enemies he comes into contact with, and then lunges down with a Meteor Smash effect at the beginning of the downwards hitbox. He also gets about 4 character lengths worth of horizontal distance when in the air. When Kirby finally comes into contact with the surface, his sword releases a shockwave, which is his only default projectile besides spitting out an enemy with neutral special. The shockwave also prevents enemies from being meteor smashed to their death, so you can only spike enemies with up special if you fall to your death as well. Kirby also can't grab the ledge until he starts to descend, which makes his recovery quite easy to predict and punish. Stone is Kirby's default down special, which transforms Kirby into one of many rock forms, and causes him to plummet downwards if he's in the air. If you're on a sloped surface or land on one, Kirby will start sliding down the surface. It does 18% damage upon contact and can KO enemies at sub 100% damage depending on the character and how high they are off the ground. The shockwave around Kirby when he lands also has a tiny bit of damaging knockback, and in some cases you can even use down special as a flashy edgeguard. Kirby can't be damaged while in his rock form, but he can take a few hits before he's forced to transform out. Or if you get grabbed, you'll instantly pop out of rock form, but you can transform back into Kirby yourself in midair or on the ground by pressing the special button again. While this move is known worldwide as the casual killer, in competitive Smash or 1v1 matches, it's quite difficult to use effectively. Neutral Special 2 trades Kirby's inhale and copy ability for an icy exhale. This move comes straight from the ice ability Kirby can get in a number of his other games, and can freeze enemies momentarily, allowing Kirby to rack up a bit of extra damage while his enemies are frozen. Up close and far away, Ice Breath does 6% damage, but in between it can do 2 to 3% damage if you don't get all the hits. Although it is cool that Kirby's custom specials incorporate some other powers from the Kirby games, Ice Breath removes Kirby's signature copy ability and the option to swallow side enemies, so it's not really worth choosing over the other neutral specials. Hammer Bash is Kirby's second side special, and it works almost exactly like Brawl's side special or Melee's when used on the ground. You can no longer charge up the hammer swing, however it's a bit stronger than the uncharged version of default side special, especially if you hit with the tip of the hammer. When used in the air, Kirby also gets a bit of vertical distance. This is helpful for mixing up your recovery, getting a bit more extra distance if you use up all of your jumps, and can be an offensive approach to getting back on stage. Up Special 2 is Wave Cutter, which sends a shockwave of rocks out when Kirby lands. The damage and knockback is far greater than default Up Special, however Kirby loses the ascending and descending hitbox on his sword. The only way that this move deals damage is with the rock projectiles, which after a few uses become telegraphed and easy to avoid. Kirby also loses about half of his horizontal momentum with this version of the move, which combined with the loss of the sword hitboxes makes this move a pretty unsafe recovery compared to its default counterpart. Grounding Stone is Down Special 2. It loses a bit of damaging knockback but can now bury enemies who are on the ground when you hit them. It also takes a bit longer to start up and falls a bit faster, but Kirby can break out of his rock form slightly quicker than the default Down Special. Depending on your playstyle, you might have a bit of fun grounding enemies with this move. However, as I mentioned earlier, it's not exactly easy to hit with in competitive play or 1v1s, and when it comes to damaging knockback, you should just be using default Down Special anyways. Neutral Special 3 is Kirby's Jumping Inhale. While it does lose a bit of damage compared to the default neutral special, Jumping Inhale lets Kirby cover half the distance of Final Destination. You can still spit enemies out as a projectile or swallow them to copy an ability. This move gives you a ton of distance while recovering, and because of the huge jump forward, it's extremely effective at intercepting enemy recoveries or covering your opponent's options at the ledge. Naturally, you don't use Kirby's Inhale and Copy ability as a damage dealing move, so Jumping Inhale is a huge improvement over default neutral special. Giant Hammer is Kirby's third side special, which is exactly what it sounds like. Kirby's hammer becomes massive and hits much harder than the other two hammers. Fully charged, this move can kill some characters at 10% or lower. However, Kirby still takes damage once it's charged, just like default side special. Although Giant Hammer comes out much slower than the other side specials, it grants Kirby super armor while charging the move. If your opponent decides to sit in their shield, you can take quite a huge chunk out of their shield's health or even break it if it wasn't already full. In free-for-alls, team battles, or casual 1v1s, this move can be pretty scary, but because of its slow startup and end time, it's not as practical as the other two hammers for competitive play. Up Special 3 is Kirby's Uppercutter. It loses the descending slash and shockwave upon landing, but the initial rising slash does much more knockback and 5% more damage than default Up Special. In fact, on certain characters at certain percents, you can hit confirm into an Up Special KO with Up Tilt, Up Air, and a variety of other moves. Because Kirby loses his descending slash and shockwave, he goes into Special Fall after reaching the climax of his jump and retains all of his horizontal momentum, so technically you can soar all the way back to the stage if you can do so safely. Although this version of Up Special makes his recovery a little bit more easy to punish, Kirby gets the ability to sweet spot the ledge from under it, so make sure to mix up your recoveries. Meteor Stone is Kirby's final custom move, Down Special 3. It does a little bit less damage than default Down Special, but will Meteor Smash mid-air opponents instead of launching them. This makes it so that grounded opponents need to be at pretty high percent to be KO'd off the top, and since it's a Meteor Smash, it's possible for enemies to just tech the ground when Kirby hits them. But Kirby jumps up when you use this move while on the ground, so it could have some interesting dodge and punish possibilities. Aside from this move, the only other Meteor Smash Kirby has is his down air, or Up Special if you're okay with self-destructing, but if you enjoy spiking opponents and surviving, then this is the move for you. Kirby's special moves don't exactly play a big role in his moveset compared to other characters, so when it comes to choosing custom moves, you really just want specials that don't create any new disadvantages, and if they can improve on the overall moveset, then that's a plus. Here's the moveset I would recommend using for both casual and competitive play. Neutral Special 3, Jumping Inhale. Kirby's not exactly a fast-moving character, but Jumping Inhale allows him to cover quite a bit of ground in a really short period of time. The speed of neutral special 3 combined with a bit of surprise factor makes it even more effective than default swallow in my opinion, because it gives you more options and ways to mix up the swallow. Not only that, it gives Kirby a huge horizontal boost when recovering, which is highly needed. In Smash 4 it's pretty easy for most of the cast to make it back to the stage, which makes Kirby's recovery much worse compared to how overpowered it seemed in the previous games. Being able to mix up your recovery is always a good thing. Side Special 2, Hammer Bash. Although you can't charge this hammer swing, Side Special 2 packs quite a punch, even more so at the hammerhead. It's a very situational move because of its startup and ending lag, however if you can tech chase an opponent or predict their roll or recovery, getting a KO with Hammer Bash is extremely satisfying. It also gives Kirby a little vertical boost when used in the air, which is perfect for mixing up your recovery, and I don't think I need to reiterate how significant that is for Kirby in Smash 4. Up Special 3, Uppercutter. Kirby doesn't really need a Meteor Smash on his up special if it means self-destructing, and if you plan on SDing you can just use the swallow side method. Kirby also doesn't really need a projectile if he has to do a huge jump and land before it comes out as well, so to me Uppercutter is the obvious choice. Kirby excels at edge guarding, but on stage it can be difficult sometimes to secure kills. Uppercutter creates opportunities for early kills if your opponent is high up or on a platform, and you can even hit confirm into it from certain moves. It can also sweet spot the ledge from below, and Kirby retains all of his horizontal momentum if you want to recover above the ledge. Overall, Uppercutter is just a great move for Kirby. Down Special 1, Stone. Like I said earlier, Kirby's Stone move is the casual killer. In free-for-alls you simply just wait until you see an enemy at high percent and then drop down on them while they're distracted. You could also probably pull off some team combos with Down Special if you like being creative and flashy. Grounding Stone has less knockback and is meant to bury enemies, and Meteor Stone is meant to Meteor Smash enemies, so both of the custom specials kinda deviate from the main purpose of this move, which is to surprise enemies with a guaranteed kill once they're at high percent. But as I mentioned before, it's an extremely situational move, and is more so effective in free-for-alls and team battles, so it's not all that important which down special you choose. But that wraps up Custom Corner episode 14. Make sure to leave a comment down below with your vote for the next character. If you want to see more Custom Corner episodes, just click the top video on your screen, and if you want to check out my top 5 countdown series, click the bottom video. If you can't see the annotations, do not worry, all of the links are in the info section below. I'm a.k.a. SmashCentral, thanks for watching all the way until the end, and as always, happy smashing!